It's do you see it there? This is Gorbachev's Pizza Hut commercial.
Hang on.
This is so good in so many ways. Just for everyone who doesn't know, Gorbachev was the leader of the USSR, Russia, until 1991. And just before we watch this, I want some context on this, because this is not... If Putin did a Pizza Hut commercial, that would be insane.
Yeah.
But this...
Was the actual leader?
No, he wasn't the leader at the time. But Gorbachev was the leader of... The USSR was a superpower.
Yeah.
It was as powerful as America. It was the equal top country in the world. And let's watch the Pizza Hut commercial.
All right, hang on. Here we go.
This is the guy who... This would be like the president doing a Pizza Hut commercial.
This is a really good pizza.
I'm pretty sure we can just watch this whole thing, right? We're not going to get any claims. There he is. And this is his granddaughter, by the way. So we're watching it. He's going... Just pause it a sec. I realize I can't just enjoy this. I got to tell people what's going on because they might be listening. We're looking at... It's a 1990s, I think 1997 Pizza Hut commercial. Gorbachev is walking into a Pizza Hut in what seems to be Moscow with his... I looked it up. Granddaughter. They sit down in Pizza Hut. Continue. It's Gorbachev. He's serving his granddaughter Pizza Hut. This guy is speaking in Russian. It's a Russian advert. It's been subtitled. There's an old dude and a young dude, and basically they're having an argument about Gorbachev's reforms to allow politics, some capitalist stuff into the country, like Pizza Hut. Continue. So the old dude's like, I don't like it, we have political instability. The young dude's like, because of him we have freedom. They have chaos. As you can hear, they're getting very riled up about it.
Because we've got many things. Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Hail to Gorbachev.
Yeah. So Gorbachev's sitting there in the corner, and these people all stand up and they hold a slice of pizza and they cheers to Gorbachev.
You know, I actually have a fun fact about this that I know.
Tell me.
He refused to eat the pizza.
Yeah, he did. It's coming up, dude.
Aha!
It's coming up.
I didn't even read your notes. I've heard about this before.
I didn't know this before.
I'm not sure where I've heard about this, but...
It's good, right?
Oh, that's what it is. I work with a Russian and they were telling me about this. Yeah, he refused to eat the pizza.
Yeah, so his daughter ate it instead. I just feel this is so crazy. This would be like Bill Clinton doing an ad for McDonald's or something. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we covered
what I found interesting there, and I always find this interesting with places that have different alphabets. Like, I'm a bit of a language person. I like that. Yeah. It's to see Pizza Hut written in Cyrillic.
Oh, yeah, it's weird.
Really strange. Yeah. Like, it's a very recognizable sort of brand.
You want to take it back to the beginning? Bring that up? I'd like to see that.
Hang on. Sorry, I closed it. Hang on.
This is such a visual one. I love it. We should do more video ones. Do you guys like video ones listening? I mean, I know listening's not great.
I suppose it depends how many people are listening.
Do we do a good job of subscribing?
There we go. Hang on.
Where is it?
Do you notice there's never anyone on Red Square? It's always empty.
Oh, it's really cold outside. There it is.
There it is. Hang on. Here we go. And there it is. Look at that. Yeah. It's like, it's Pizza Hut.
Yeah, you do. It's got that little
it says
hat on.
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut. Okay, so... I want to tell you about the story about why this happens, because it's not as simple as just money. Uh-huh. I mean, it is, really. It's about money. But there's a bit more of a story there. So the USSR collapses, obviously. Gorbachev, in this advert, it's about, 1997, so 6 years after the collapse of the USSR. And his finances dwindle. You know why? Because he gets a pension from the government, but there was, a bit of a change of regime. His government pension was the equivalent of $2 American a month.
That's not very much.
It's not enough to live off.
That's not very much.
But lots of people had this problem. They had basically, this is... By the way, there's another link in there. And this is quite British specific. Actually, it's not really super British specific, but retirement schemes, right? Mm. The government retirement schemes. It's a Ponzi scheme, essentially.
It's a pittance. It's so little money.
It's enough to live off, just about, if you're,
Okay.
But basically, it's a Ponzi scheme because or a pyramid / Ponzi scheme, however you want to define it.
I was going to say, what's a Ponzi scheme? All right.
Ponzi scheme is what Bernie Madoff is famous for, which was it is super simple.
Hiring people to start their own little thing.
No, that's like...
That's a pyramid scheme.
That's a pyramid scheme. And the pyramid schemes, man, they're crazy. You don't want to talk about like name names, but all of those pyramid schemes that you think about, don't say their names because they will sue you. Because they're like, yeah, we're multi-level marketing, and it's like, yes, a pyramid scheme. You know them. Everyone knows them. I'm not going to say them because, like, I love how John Oliver on Last Week Tonight just calls these guys out because he's HBO and they'll take the heat. They've got a team of lawyers and loads of money, and it's awesome that they can. But I don't want to get a cease and desist. But it's kind of like this giant Ponzi scheme, like retirement schemes anyway. I didn't really want to get into it today, but I just think this is so interesting. This article from the Adam Smith Institute just about how the UK pension system is basically a Ponzi scheme. And the problem is now with an aging demographic of the population and there's less people paying in as people draw out, there's going to be a problem at some point. Everyone's going to get super old because everyone's getting older. Retirement age is going to go up and up and up. There's going to be less people paying in. It's going to be a big problem.
There's same sort of problems in Japan at the moment.
Same sorts of problems. Japan's got it even worse because their population's way old. And
no one's having kids.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's going to be a huge problem. But it's not something we should super discuss today because it's really long.
Do you know,
if you want to read that article, it's worth a read.
I went onto my UK government gateway so basically, there's a website now where you can manage all your government stuff. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, you should get.
I don't even know about.
Oh, you should get it. Like, just you can sort of do all your tax returns if you ever have to do them. You can do all your.
I don't do this myself.
Like your, you can look at how much time is left for you to receive your pension.
I'm pretty sure I don't. I haven't paid national insurance contributions in 10 years.
Well, you see, this is it. Okay,
because you can volunteer them, and I don't.
Yeah. All right.
You do?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. And basically, what happened was that I went on and I checked how much time I've got left until I'm qualified for a pension.
Yeah. Does it tell you what your pension is estimated to be?
Yes. So for a state pension, which is however much it is.
But private, we should just say private pensions work completely differently. Yeah, and that is like you are investing. Or you're paying it to a private pension company who will, because they invest in stuff. The money's not going to pay people it would be illegal if that money was being taken in as part of a private pension and being paid out to people who were subscribed before. That would be a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
And that's essentially this Adam Smith article, this is what it describes as the UK system. Private pensions, they invest in the market, they invest in actual things. So the money is still there and being grown, which is great.
Great.
I didn't have this either, but sorry, Sam, tell me about your
So
UK
basically,
I
took a look. So I'm 26 now, and I took a look at how much time I would need to work in the UK and pay taxes.
40 more years.
More.
50 more years.
47 years. Oh. And I was like, the problem is, it's not because I've not worked. It's just I've worked in different countries. Yeah. And so I worked in Australia and Canada, so I haven't paid my national insurance. And
if you want, you can volunteer your national. It's not much. It's like £12 a week or something. No, because it's a giant scheme and it sucks.
For the sake of getting like a tiny pension, I'm not sure what it is. I think it was like 40,000 a year or something. No,
£40,000 a year.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a massive amount.
15,000 or something like that. It's like 15,000, 20,000
I would even
a
say
year.
that's high. I don't think it's 15,000 a year.
Really?
Actually, maybe it is.
I think it's about 15,000 a year. I think I've got no idea. Neither of us are.
All I remember is I swear when I was a kid, my nan's pension, which would go to the post office to get, was like 70 quid, and I remember thinking, "Wow, that's a lot of money."
A lot of money.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Buy a lot of penny sweets.
Yeah. Well, as a kid, you're like £70 a week, Nan.
Do you remember?
Oh my god!
Do you remember the day of penny sweets?
Of course.
Like we used to have a shop that you could go in and they had jars full of like humbugs.
Yeah, the tuck shop.
But not just tuck shop. Like it was all like humbugs and strawberry and cream sucking sweets and things like that.
Yeah, the tuck shop.
Oh, that was the tuck shop for you.
I don't know. The school had a tuck shop and it sold all this stuff in the big jars.
It wasn't in the school for us. We had like a sweet shop in our high street, and that doesn't really exist anymore.
Doesn't it? That's a shame.
No, not those sorts of sweets anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on.
Well, where were we?
Ponzi scheme.
Yeah. So. Do you want me to do we want to do Ponzi? I can tell you what a Ponzi scheme is super quickly because it's really interesting.
Tell the people, they want to know.
Ponzi scheme is basically what Bernie Madoff was running, who went to prison for like 160 years and he will die in prison, obviously. But it's like, okay, so I've got a business, right, Sam? And I say, hey, Sam, I want you to invest in my business. I'm going to get you 11% a year return, which is, whoa, you're going to be at 11% a year? That's crazy. I mean, it's not unbelievable, but it's pretty great. Yeah, it's an incredible return. You give me $10,000 and I'll look after it for you and I'll pay you back $1,000 a year in interest. Let's say 10%. $1,000 a year in interest. I'll keep your capital and I'll just keep paying that out to you. Put more money in if you want. But I'm not actually investing your money. I'm just taking your 10,000, taking, let's say, 5,000 for myself, spending it on random shit, and paying you out $1,000 for 5 years. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about you coming after me for 5 years unless you draw the money. So you might want to draw the money, right? But the thing is, in this next time, I've recruited your wife and your friend to put money in. And so if anyone wants to draw,
you've got the pot.
I've got a big pot. The only problem is if everyone wants to draw at once, or, the Securities and Exchange Commission is like, you're running a Ponzi scheme. And that's what happened. So,
there you go.
Markopoulos famously, is it Markopoulos? Not a whistleblower or something, but he blew the lid on it. And it was incredible. Such an amazing story. And he went to prison for like 160 years. And they recovered a bunch of the money, but not all of it. And it was like, and Bernie Madoff was like a trusted Wall Street guy, which is why it was so successful. And he wasn't offering crazy returns. But that's a Ponzi scheme.
There you go.
We were talking about something completely different. And that is, I've even lost what we were talking about. Gorbachev's Pizza Hut commercial. We were talking about why he did it. And basically, he had this foundation that he wanted to maintain. It was kind of this thing that he set up after his presidency, like a lot of presidents do. And basically, he would do speaking and stuff like this, but it wasn't covering the expenses of the foundation. So he did a Pizza Hut commercial. And I thought, we said it wasn't for money. It wasn't for money in his pocket, but it was money for his foundation and to pay his staff and all of this stuff. No one knows how much he got paid, but speculation, $1 million in 1997 for a commercial where he didn't even eat the pizza because he refused.
Well, it's a pretty big commercial. That's a big hitting player right there.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I think that's reasonable. If I rewatched Lost.
It's got to be good when you're that notable that you can just do a commercial for $1 million. For a few million,
yeah. I rewatched Lost in Translation again after a little while.
Love that movie.
You see, I love that movie. I find that's a funny movie because people either love it or hate it. It's either too artsy or it's great, and I think it's really good.
But it is too artsy. I don't like that part of the movie. I like the message of the movie.
Yeah, but no, I think it's the same sort of story that he's there doing a whiskey thing for $2 million.
He wants to be doing a play.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's just like sometimes you just got to do it,
but he's super rich already. He doesn't need to be doing it.
No,
but $2 million is a lot of money.
That'd be a nice situation to be in, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Can you imagine being Bill Murray?
Oh, Bill Murray's such a legend.
He is a legend, and what I love about Bill Murray is he's very down to earth. So he's like you always see him things like going around and picking up trash and things like all that sort of.
Bill Murray.
He's Bill Murray. What a lad.
Bill Murray.
What a good lad.
Yes. By the way, I will just say that this is kind of where I want to stop with the Gorbachev part of this segment. Yeah. But I will say foreign policy, which is you can read foreignpolicy.com for free. It's got no paywall or anything like that. I don't know how they do it. Maybe with ads. But I don't know. It's great journalism. And if you just search foreign policy, Mikhail Gorbachev, you'll find a Pizza Hut. You'll find this. And they've got a huge write-up about this. And it's way more in-depth than anything I've mentioned. And it's awesome. And there's so many details. It's cool.
Great.
Okay. And I just thought, nice little funny irony of the communism of Gorbachev. And then he's doing a Pizza Hut commercial for $1 million. Now, Sam, do you remember how I said that wouldn't it be weird if Bill Clinton did a McDonald's advert?
He did.
Well, he didn't. However, it's even better.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
I'm so excited. Okay, see though. Okay, even in the notes, I write. Okay, now what the WTF is this? Click that link.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I don't know if this is like not news to Americans, but look at this.
I really think this is the right thing for us to be doing, Ivana.
What will people think?
Let them talk.
Donald.
Ivana, it's wrong, isn't it?
But it feels so right.
Then it's a deal?
Yes, we eat our pizza the wrong way.
Crust first.
Introducing stuffed crust pizza from Pizza
I knew he was
with a ring of cheese baked into a totally new, thinner crust. You'll want to eat it the wrong way. Crust first.
May I have the last slice?
Actually, you're only entitled to half.
Large, just $9.99.
Okay, so this is also 90s. I guess maybe early 2000s. What is going on? There's so much to unpack. There is so much to unpack in that. First of all, why is he eating the pizza crust first?
Because it's stuffed crust.
Who does that, though?
Stuffed crust.
Yeah, I know, but I love stuffed crust pizza.
Yeah, it's true, because then you've got nothing to hold. So wrong.
It's wrong. And it's not funny, though.
No.
The only reason this is funny is because it's Donald Trump doing it, who is now the president.
Yes. And Donald Trump, who is Czech.
No, she's Slovenian.
Czech.
This is yeah, of course, because this is the 90s.
His current wife is Slovenian.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Second thing to unpack about this, Is this weirdly sexual? Like, just go back to the beginning.
The beginning?
Yeah, like...
Ivana.
What will people think?
Let him talk.
Ivana.
It's wrong, isn't it?
See...
But it feels...
No, I think it's
but
very...
it feels so right.
It's sort of very 90s sort of ghost, 80s ghost kind of feel. It's that sort of
but it's not
Patrick Swayze.
Then what else is it supposed to be if not like...
Or it's a little bit Austin Powers. What is your name?
Yeah, but Austin Powers is sexual.
I'm Ivana.
It's
Ivana
a sexual...
Humpalot.
Yeah, it's a
That sort of
sexual
thing.
joke. This is a sexual Pizza Hut commercial with
Possibly.
Donald Trump.
Well, maybe this was the beginning of sexualization of food. Like now you watch a Marks and Spencer's advert.
Oh yeah.
God, they are like filthy.
It's pretty.
You
yeah.
watch who's the
Food
lady
porn.
that does Christmas? Nigella Laws.
Don't know.
No, I don't know. There is an English chef.
Delia Smith.
No, no.
I don't know. I'm just naming
I think
female
it's
British
Nigella
chefs.
Lawson, and everything. It's like now we're going to massage the breast with duck
Oh my
fat.
God, okay.
And it's like, ooh,
We're getting a bit weird.
that's a
Nigella.
bit much. Come on.
Third thing I want to unpack about this is at the end, he's definitely making a divorce joke.
Yeah.
You're only entitled to
entitled to
half. Which they get, he's been divorced before. No, this is his first
This
wife.
is before.
But he's been divorced 3 times. So
must have
is it
lost a
really
lot of
okay
money.
to make divorce jokes when you've I mean, of course it's okay, whatever.
That's a
but
joke, isn't
is
it?
it? But fine. But why does he make? It's weird.
I feel that he didn't write this. Like everything he says, I feel that he didn't write this.
No, dude. If someone's writing his stuff, that person needs to be shot.
I am the best writer of everything.
Yeah.
No.
Just the end bit where he says you only get half. Why is there a divorce joke in there?
Actually, you're only entitled to half.
I don't get it. Also, do you remember when large pizzas would cost only $10?
Yeah. Do you know when I was living in
It's a good
Australia,
deal.
there was not Pizza Hut, it was Domino's used to do half price Tuesday. So for a student discount, you get $7 two
Yeah.
pizzas, $7.
What? This is, yeah. I mean, but this is just standard large pizza for $10. We would do Domino's at university, and if you went to pick it up on a student day, you could get it for like £5 or something.
What?
So, yeah,
No,
for a large
do you
Domino's.
know they're like £17 now?
Dude, of course. If you buy them off the menu, it's insanely expensive.
Mad.
All the
Absolutely
time.
mad.
But it is what it is. This section's been really long, but how glorious was this?
No, fantastic. I'm glad we did this. This was nice.
Yeah.
I think it's like it's quite funny because you only think of a person in their position that they're currently in. So Trump is now president. The thing is, he was already famous before.
Yeah,
Did you hear he got pulled out of
Home?
Home?
It's weird.
Did you hear he got blocked out of Home Alone when they played it on TV and he made a big thing about
Wait,
it?
he's in Home Alone?
Yeah, Home Alone 2 because they're in the Trump hotel, and there's a moment where he walks in. He's like, "I know you," or something like that. He says something sort of, and he got
breaking the fourth wall.
Exactly. He got he says it to Kevin, and he got cut out when it was put on TV, and he put like a big sort of complaint about it, and it was basically they went, "Oh, it's just because it didn't fit the timing," but I think we all know what it was.
Well, we know it was the best performance